This is the biggest story unfolding before their eyes.
Surrounded by friggin' UFOs.
Of a UFO battle in orbit around Earth.
I believe that's 504, please.
UFOs on the moon, fact or fiction? Well, I was a bit touchy on the subject too after watching a lot of conspiracy reels and watching documentaries about debunking the moon landings, going back and forth throughout the last 4 years looking back. And more, I am believing that yes, we did go to the moon in the 70s throughout, and the astronauts that were up there did see something, and that is the reason we have not returned physically, or so they tell us.
Okay, let's go. Would you, Charlie? You got all your steering. It's straight. Oh, this is going to be some kind of different ride.
Even though I still am skeptical about things like the actual capsule taking off, and you think to yourself, wait a minute, who's recording that? But I think possibly some of the NASA footage was maybe made on Earth to cover up the real footage that was taken on the moon. What I mean by that is 99% of the footage is taken on the moon, but little parts might have been added on later, possibly. But you'll see what I mean by the still shots taken by the astronauts of where NASA accidentally left photos that they would have liked to censor from the public that we've now discovered that show alien presence. They were hiding something in plain sight, and their ability to censor photos back in the 70s was absolutely disgraceful. So now we can look back in the archives, the official archives open to the public, and take a peek on what they've censored and scrubbed out and what's actually behind them photos.
A number of anomalies along the same lines of what they published were left out, and it's a bit curious to me. NASA has an archive of more recent scans of the Apollo films, and you can get a much higher resolution version of the trio of blue lights in the black lunar sky, and you can see more visibly the detailed structure in the lights.
Hear that? That's coming from a prominent professor who was later actually fired from his university because of, again, the deep state control of this subject to shut it down instantly, just like NASA did, and up and left these photos in their archives, which now we're all finding. So the thing that makes this Apollo footage so interesting is that the recorded camcorder footage shows objects in the background, then later is corroborated with actual photo images of the large cameras that they used, like they were actually following these blue orbs in the background that were surveying the astronauts. This here is Secure Team 10's footage, so check out his YouTube channel if you haven't. He does some incredible videos about the lunar surface and the anomalies that surround the NASA photos. Now, you know the small blue dots that I was talking about in the background? Well, here they are as Secure Team 10 actually heightens the resolution of the footage and brings out the color that was originally taken on these old photos, and shows you these blue shining orbs that are surrounding some sort of physical craft. Remember, these photos were taken in the late 60s and early 70s. What the hell was this? And it wasn't just one. Because if you go into Ross Coulter's Reality Check episode talking about these Apollo 11 photos, you can literally see multiple objects in the background, which they highlight here. The work Tyler has done in spotting this same object in a multitude of random NASA photos, some in successive footage where it's like they're almost snapping multiple photos following this craft in the sky. And the thing that beats me is how the censors at NASA scrubbed out some of these but missed so many of them. It must have been because the original photos back in the 70s were so low quality that through new technology now we can zoom in a lot closer and brighten the textures to see in more color what the astronauts were seeing. And it doesn't stop there, because the NASA UFO footage is just the start of it. Because ground footage of monolithic structures, you could say megalithic if we ever do get to see them from ground level, show some sort of ability from something to build straight right angle edges. A lot of these strange craters look too anomalous, as in possibly alien built, because there's thousands of photos that have been debunked over time, but with no actual evidence. And these objects, the clearer footage we get of them, and a lot of them are again scrubbed out by NASA, are going to show up as monolithic structures on the surface of the moon. And if you don't believe me, even Lou Elizondo has now been saying it to the Japanese authorities that monoliths quite well could be on the moon. Here it is now.
There's also photographs that I don't believe have been made public yet that show on the lunar surface what appear to be large monolithic structures with right angle cuts that appear to be on the lunar surface. And I believe those photographs, if they have not been released yet, may be released soon. But they are certainly very intriguing looking at these objects from space.
So there you have it, UFO researchers. Don't take it from me. This is plain hard evidence. More evidence than most other phenomenons have. Actually, the only evidence is the alien phenomenon that is backed heavily by photographic and scientific evidence. So I hope I convinced you that there was something going on in the original Apollo 11 and later moon landings that made us not go back. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Don't shut things down too fast. Don't fall for reels. Do your own research, deep dive. Go to the official NASA archives and look for yourself. Make up your own decision and don't be a sheep. I hope I opened your eyes a little bit and got you intrigued, because this is one of the things that intrigued me the most when I stumbled upon the UFO subject years and years ago. It's just so crazy to look at them images after the astronauts landed, how shaken up they look, like they've seen a ghost, like they've been shut down and censored, like they've sworn an oath that they'll be charged with treason if they tell the truth. You can see it on their face. This is the most interesting story in human history. Like always, share the video, check out my Instagram. I've also got Facebook now, Aussie UFO News, a page on there. And make sure you share these videos to all the skeptics that hate this type of stuff, because you never know, one might open their mind if they just listen. See you next time, Aussies.